Well, hello and welcome. It is a Friday and you're not seeing things. We actually are doing a quick live here on a Friday to share some really exciting news with you. As you probably know, we like to collaborate. We like to work with other people that are doing like-minded work. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about that. Of course, my name is Guy Stevens. I'm the founder and executive director of the Alliance Against Seclusion and Restraint. And I have Sandy Lerman with me today, who is with Heartstrong International. And Sandy is going to talk a little bit about an exciting collaboration that we're working on and what that might mean for you, because it might be really interesting to parents, educators, and others out there. And Sandy, I'm going to let you take it away, and I'll jump in after you kind of explain everything.
Thank you so much, Guy. First of all, we at Heartstrong love the work that you are doing at the Alliance Against Seclusion and Restraint. We are 100% aligned with your philosophy. We need to be giving kids trauma-informed, brain-based, compassionate, relationship-driven support in every context, whether that's in schools, in families, in our communities. And we love thank you so much for being an exciting project that we've got. So I wanted to tell you all that we at Heartstrong, we used to have a book club. It was called the Trauma-Informed Changemakers Book Club and Community. And we did that for a couple of years. It was really fun. And then we sort of, it got to be a lot. There was just a lot going on. So we paused it for a little bit while I was reworking ideas. Then I saw that Guy and the Alliance Against Seclusion and Restraint were starting to do book studies. And I thought, well, that's really cool. That's kind of what we used to do, but a little different. So I joined one of their book studies recently, and we read Dr. Lori Desautel's book, and it was an amazing book study. I was so excited to be part of that. And it's run by volunteers who are parents and teachers and people who are in the trenches and really understand this work and how important this is. And that was really cool. And everybody in that group was just so passionate and excited about this work. So I thought, well, what can I do to promote what you all are doing and also let our folks be aware of it as well and kind of work together? So what we've decided to do is a summer reading challenge. And some of you have seen the little post. I haven't told you about it yet, but this is our official first announcement. You'll be getting more announcements about this as we go through. But we've set up we have a Facebook group that we've used for our book clubs in the past. We're asking everybody to join that. And we're also going to be letting you know about several upcoming book studies that Guy and the Alliance have set up already. They already have them scheduled, and they already have people that are going to be running those. This is the group, the Trauma-Informed Changemakers. Just go to Facebook and look for Trauma-Informed Changemakers. That's the name of the group. You can join that group. We'll be putting announcements in there about all the activities we'll be doing related to the book and the reading challenge. We will be having prizes and special other kinds of special surprises throughout the summer. But the idea of this challenge is that we want you to either join one of the Alliance's, one of their book studies coming up this summer, or if you don't want to join that, or you decide it's not at a good time for you, you can start your own book study. And we have already created a list of 111 books that are possible studies that you could do. I know that's a lot of books, but you can download the book, and there's a link on the little the Facebook post that I made earlier today. You can find that, and I'll post it again. And you can find that book, that link to find the book list, and just choose one of those books. Any of those books would be great for a book study. And then find people who you think are like-minded, whether those are teachers at the school where you work, parents in your community. It could be people online that you know. It doesn't have to be people in your community, but either way works. If you want to do them in person or if you want to do it virtually. We thought we would open up the Facebook group to everybody that's interested. That way, if there's a certain book you really want to read this summer and it's not available in one of the book studies that are already set up for the summer, then you can start your own group and say, hey, I really want to read this book, or I really want to read that book. And then other people can come on the thread and be a book study buddy with you. So that's what we'll do in the Facebook.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second? Because you mentioned the big book list that you have.
Yes.
And I put that up on the screen right now, and I actually put a link in the chat to that as well, so people can find that. But they can actually sign up here to get that book list. And this book list is pretty amazing. So I'm not going to let you just go by it that quickly. How many books are on this list that you've created here?
111.
111.
It's a special number. My son you all know about my son Hero. Most of you know the story, but if you don't, he was adopted, and the adoption date was 1/11/11, January 11th of 2011. So 111 is a special number for me. It's my angel number. So that's why I chose 111 books. There are probably 111 more that will be coming soon. We'll do a second edition eventually, but we'll add to the list as we get new books.
And it really is an amazing list. I mean, I look at my bookshelf and there's a lot of amazing books that I recommend all the time. But 111, that's a lot. Anyway, I wanted to interrupt you because this really is a fantastic list of books. And of course, they can go here, they can sign up and get that book list, and pick a book and participate from there. So I'll let you continue, but I had to point that out because I think it's a really amazing list.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to let everybody know that I believe all the books that you're doing book studies on are in the list, because those are folks I love too. Joe Brummer, Ginger Healy. By the way, if you haven't gotten this book, I've been advertising this a lot. Their next book study, I don't know if it's closed. Do you still have room in your book study, or is it already full?
Well, Sandy, it actually was full and I closed it. But if people are listening right now, I've opened it back up for a little while. So I'm going to let a few more people in, just kind of on the piggyback on this announcement that we're doing. And in fact, I'll share that real quickly on the screen here. Let me see. Regulation and co-regulation.
Yeah, I just want everybody to read this book. You all know that I get excited about a few books, and this is one of my few books. This might end up being one of our required readings for our certification program, which I'll mention that here at the end too. But this is fantastic. You really need to read it. And if you don't get into the book club with Guy, which you better jump in now because everybody's going to be watching this. But go ahead, Guy. Go ahead and explain how that works.
Well, I was just going to say that we had closed registration on it, but I decided kind of in light of this event that we would open it again. And of course, this is a book by Ginger Healy. Ginger, who we know, we love. We think this is a fantastic book. You can go right now to aasr.news/regulation book, and you can sign up. This book study is held over 4 weeks. So we meet 4 times beginning on July 12th. And we have a meeting every week, July 12th, July 19th, the 26th, and the 2nd. And the 2nd, you get a really special treat. And that is Ginger will join us, answer questions, and talk a bit more about the book. So again, this is just being reopened for a limited time. It had technically filled up, but we're going to encourage people to go and sign up if they're watching this right now.
That's so exciting. I'm so glad.
Well, I had to. I felt like we really wanted to do that. And I will put the link in here as well. I see that comment in the chat. And if you want, I'll mention the other ones that we're doing this summer. Okay, perfect. Let me just get there real quick again, kind of navigating multiple screens here. So in addition to this, after that book study, we are doing Self-Reg. Self-Reg is a book by Dr. Stuart Shanker, and it's a fantastic book. Stuart Shanker is with the Merit Center. They're located out of Canada. And Stuart, just really amazing work. A lot of fantastic reflections on kind of the brain and neuroscience and, how stress affects the body and the stress response system. And this is a really great book. And one of the things I love about this, especially considering kind of what we were talking about like, hey, this is a great time for parents, a great time for teachers, is if you read the title to this, Self-Reg is a short title, but the full title is Self-Reg, How to Help Your Child and You Break the Stress Cycle and Successfully Engage in Life. And we can't be effective in helping others if we're in a state of chronic stress or we are dysregulated. So I think it's really important to take that into mind. That again is AASR News /Self-Reg book. And I'll try to put that link in the chat as well. That's coming up in August. And again, the plan with that is we've got 4 sessions. The final session, Dr. Shanker is planning on joining us from Canada. So that'll be exciting. And the final one that we've got coming up here is a book study of building a trauma-informed restorative school. I think with our friend and acquaintance, Joe Brummer. Joe wrote a fantastic book on trauma-informed restorative schools. And the reason those two things are important together is there's a lot of work around restorative schools. There's a lot of work around trauma-informed approaches, but not all restorative programs are really trauma-informed. And in fact, some of them just seem to be another form of discipline. So Joe's book is fantastic. Same deal. We're going to be starting that one in September. And the final session, again, Joe will be joining us for that. and that is AASR News/Restore School. And Self-Reg and Building a Trauma-Informed School, today is the first day I've announced those. So they are wide open as of now. In fact, I wasn't even planning to announce them until Sandy said, hey, let's do this thing. And I'm like, hey, why not? And let's get these announced. So those are the ones that we have coming up. And I'll let you take it away again.
Awesome. Yeah. So if any of those books, I recommend that you join one of those book studies because they do a fantastic job. And I joined one because I wanted to kind of see how everything was going in there. And it was just, and I learned a lot myself, and it was just an amazing group of folks. So join those. If for any reason, like I said, if the timing isn't good for you, if you've got things in the evening, if your kids are home, and I know for teachers, sometimes summers are easier, but if you're also a parent, or if you are a parent, sometimes it's hard with your kid's schedule. If it's a different time is better for you, pick a different time. You can still study the same book, just grab a few other people in our Facebook group to meet with on Zoom, or grab some folks in your own community groups or your own schools, school organizations, any way that you would like to do the book study, whatever you think is going to work best for your schedule and your life. And then, we're going to give you resources. If you download the book list, you'll notice that it will send you a little, hey, welcome to the book list. And here's a link to go to a how to start a book club. I've given you a 3-part series. It's really short. It's just a little mini course on how to run a book club. So it gives you a little downloadable handout on things to think about, things to plan for. So if you've never run a book study or you've never run a book club before, don't be intimidated. Just read through that, read through the guidelines, and go for it. And everybody can do this. Everybody who's passionate about this work, I think, will really enjoy getting together with people who are like-minded. So there's that. So then here's the other exciting news. So those of you who are teachers and anybody else who has to do professional development in teaching or education, I just got this approved literally like a day or two ago. You now can apply through Heartstrong International. We have an agreement with an organization called Courses for Teachers, and they work with the University of the Pacific. And the University of the Pacific has approved our courses, both our certification courses and these book studies are now approved for graduate credit if you would like to receive that. Now, there's a little bit more to it. If you want to get graduate credit, I will give you all the information about that in the Facebook group. There'll be more. I'll be sending out information by newsletter. If you can also reach out to me if you have questions at support@wingbuilder.com. But what you'll have to do is just basically do a book report at the end of the book, once you've read it. Keep a log of your book study times and what you've discussed in your book group. And then you'll submit that to me and I will grade it. And I told Guy, it's my English teacher heart is very excited about this because it's been a long time since I've graded any English papers. And I used to do that all the time for over 20 years. So I'm really excited to see what you have to say about your books. I love reading books, teaching books, hearing about books. Books are all over the place in my house. So books, read books this summer. Take the time. Go to the beach and read a book if you can. Go by the pool and read a book. But be trauma informed this summer. And then the idea of this book challenge is we're not just going to read our books. We're going to read our books and then we're going to implement those ideas in our families and in our classrooms and in our communities. So part of your book report, part of your final report to submit for the graduate credit, you get 1 credit per book. Okay. So if you need to do 3 credits this summer, some folks need to do that for their licensure. You could read 3 books this summer, boom, 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 get that knocked out. I know I had to do that one summer many years ago. I had to do several courses to complete my licensure requirements. If some of you are in that boat, this is a great way to choose your own adventure and get your graduate credit for that. But we want you to, in that report, you're going to tell us how are you going to implement this? What are you going to do? Are you going to do something new in your school? Are you going to do some kind of community activity? Are you going to spread awareness? Write a letter to the editor of your newspaper? Go to the board meeting? Like, what are you going to do to implement this and get off the couch and out into the community to implement these ideas? Because that's what we're really passionate about here. We want to be trauma informed, but we also want to be change makers who are out there making big changes in the world.
Yeah. And maybe you do a book study and then you lead a book study, that whatever you do, you carry it forward and do something forward. I want to pause for a minute and just say that if you're on with us live now, tell us who you are and tell us where you're from. And if you got anything already in your summer reading list, let us know what that might be. I also want to point out that we've got Chantel on as well. Chantel is our lead Canadian volunteer and has also been one of the leads on the book studies that we've been doing so far, and has been doing
amazing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's been amazing. And I do want to, there's a question here as well that I wanted to hit. And Cassie said, why do you even close/limit book study groups? And what we're talking about, Cassie, that has the limit, the events that we're doing where we are doing live, essentially having people come onto Zoom and be part of the book study. The reason we limit is that we want to have it be an experience where people can contribute and be part of a group. And we've actually had in cases where we've had up to 200 people that have signed up. 200 people is not a small environment that you can have, really, really great conversations in. So we try to keep them limited, but we also know sometimes we get a little bit more signups than sometimes people that end up, being able to make it. So we tend to let it go a little bit higher, but in the past, we've actually divided into smaller groups so that we don't have groups of 50 or 100 people. Our preference for those groups is probably, 15, 20, 30. But when you get up to 50 or 100 people, it's just a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and I want to say something about this too, Guy. I mean, they're doing this for free, y'all. Alliance on Gun Seclusion and Restraint. They're just offering this to the community. It's a free club. I mean, it's not like, you have to pay to get admission or anything. You can always donate to the cause because that's important. But, they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. Their volunteers are running this. So that's a huge group for them to run, which is why Heartstrong International, we're now opening it up to anybody that wants to run their own book club in addition to what they're doing, because they're sort of having so many people sign up that we're realizing, there's a lot of people that would like to do this, that maybe that's a little bit too intimidating to be in a group of that many people. Maybe they'd like to do their own smaller book study with a group of people that they already know, whether those are colleagues or Facebook friends or people that are in our group or people that are in other Facebook groups that you're in. There's so many people that love to read that would love to talk about this with you. And I think that you'll really learn a lot by, getting in those smaller groups.
Yeah. And Chantel said, we found smaller groups allow us to start building relationships with our community, like Sandy. And it's really funny because the first book study we did earlier this year was with Mona Della Hook's book, Brain Body Parenting. And one of the participants of the first book study then got drafted into being a volunteer for the second book study, Valerie, who's now a volunteer with us as well. And such great connections. I had a conversation earlier this week with a teacher that was part of our last book study with Lori Destatel's book, an amazing teacher named Danielle. And, I said to Danielle, I'm like, hey, if you ever want to do, volunteer or somehow get involved with what we're doing. So these book studies allow us to make relationships, and it's a great thing to do. Yeah. We will allow more people to sign up than we think will actually come, just because knowing that schedules get busy, but we do want to try to keep it so that it's a place where people feel safe and they can share and we can build some relationships. And it really has been a fantastic experience.
It's been fantastic. And I just, like I said, I learned so much at the book study. I just planned to be a little fly on the wall. And Chantel was like pulling me in and asking me questions, and just really, really good at getting engagement and people talking. And it was, there was so much, even just watching the chat, everybody got very excited in the chat. So that was fun too.
And I consider that, I regard that praise very highly from you, because, I know who you are and what you're doing. And I really appreciate that. And Chantel, I'm sure you're listening too. It's really appreciated that, you were excited about doing the event, and then we could come together and collaborate on this.
Well, she's a mama bear like me. I know her heart. I know why she's doing this work, and I feel for you too, guys. We're all in this because there are children that we know by systems that are not trauma informed and brain based, right? And we've got to do more to change that system. So I think we are all aligned in that view, and we're going to have fun, we're going to laugh, we're going to enjoy it, but we also have a really serious mission behind all of this as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it
was very fun.
So I also want to mention, I talked about the graduate credits and everything. I don't want anybody to be confused. You don't have to do a paper. Like, I'm not going to make you write a paper. Some of you are like, oh no, English teacher, she's going to get out her red pen. And no, you don't have to do any of that. That's just for those of you who are really ambitious and like you want to get some credit for this summer. If you need that, I just wanted to offer that to you because I know for me, I always was looking for things in the summer to do for my licensure to complete those requirements to keep my licensure going. So if that's something that you want to do, you can, but you are not required to. And I also want to go ahead.
I was just going to ask, and you may have covered this, and I'm sorry if my brain is all over the place, but is there a cost associated with doing the credits? I would assume there would be.
Is. Yeah, okay. There's a cost for the course, and then there'll be a cost for the graduate, like the transcript fee and all that, the university charges. So I will have all that information available to anybody that wants it, and I'll be posting links that you can click on, and it will have all the breakdown and everything will be on the website for you to check that out. I also want to mention that some of you who are watching, I know some of you who are coming are also some of our certification program graduates are here on the call right now. And some of you are thinking about joining our certification program. Some of you have just joined that for the summer. Those are still open. We still have the June cohort open. Those of you who are who are looking at becoming a certified trauma-informed specialist or certified trauma-informed parent, coach, or educational trainer. Those are the 3 certifications that we offer now. Those are still open, and this book study is included in your tuition. So you don't have to pay extra for the book study course if you're already in that certification course. So that's something, some of you who are really ambitious and you really want to become a leader in this movement, that's something that you can reach out to me for more information about as well.
Fantastic. And I do want to point out, I don't know if you saw this comment, but you've got fans here. Laura said,
Laura.
hello, this is great. St. Lerman Heartstrong International is amazing. And
Laura.
Yeah, we absolutely agree. So this is
one
really
of
exciting.
Our parent coaches. She's just started her business as a parent coach. We have a lot of amazing graduates who are out there we have educational trainers who are out training in places where like they can't get the big name trainers, if you know what I mean. Like these are folks who are working in their communities to bring this information to their communities as parent coaches and trainers. So I'm so proud of all of them. So yeah, anybody who's interested in that can reach out and ask me for more information.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to share with the audience here today before we wrap things up? I mean, this is a great program. I'm really excited about it. You're really excited about it. We got this fantastic list of 111 books. We've got our 3 planned book studies that are going on. There's a lot of opportunity. People can, of course, do this on their own. They can do it as part of the groups. They can do a special project. They can write a paper. They can get credit. There's so much here, and we're going to be sharing more about it in the days to come. But you can reach out to either Sandy or I and get more details. Anything else you want to share with folks as we kind of wrap up?
There's one more thing, because I know Laura and some of the other grads are on here. If you've already graduated, they've already done 4 book studies with me. Like we read a lot of books in the program. If you want to do more books, like there's 111 of them. So if you'd like to do more, reach out to me and I can give you more details on that. And you can still get additional credits from University of the Pacific for doing additional book studies beyond your certification if you'd like to do that.
Fantastic. And do you want to say a little bit more? I mean, you mentioned the program here that you've had, people in your program. Do you want to talk a little bit more about your program just to make people aware that might be curious?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So, so Heartstrong International, we started out as a parent coaching. Sorry. We started out as a parent coaching company, and then we added teacher coaching, and now we help parents and teachers to become parent coaches and teacher coaches, if that makes sense. So what we're doing at Heartstrong International now is we have a certification program for folks who want to become trauma-informed specialists. And then in our advanced program, they can become certified parent coaches or certified educational trainers. And they have to do a practicum, and there's actual parent coaching, and there's actual training, actual working with teachers and real parents and real teachers. And they submit that to me, and there's a whole evaluation process that goes on in that program. And it's a very rigorous program. I used to teach at a college that did a trauma-informed educators. I was a master's degree program in curriculum and instruction for trauma-informed educators. And I liked the program, but I didn't feel like it was as hands-on or as practical as what I really would prefer to teach people. So I created a program that is based on my lived experience as both a parent and as a teacher of children with extreme challenges, extreme behaviors, explosive, aggressive, demand avoidant, things that teachers don't know what to do about. A lot of the parents have been looking at this for a long time, looking for resources, looking for help. Lots of desperate parents and teachers that just don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So this program tells you what to do. It's not just about the theory. It's not just about we need to, be more compassionate and connected. Yes, of course we do. What do we do when there's something, flying across the room at your head and you have a child who's so explosive they can't self-regulate, right? So this program takes us step by step through what to do. And then I train you how to train other parents and other teachers. And it's a very rigorous, it's been an 8-month program historically. We now have a self-paced program so that you can complete it depending on the time that you have in the summer. You potentially could complete it in one summer, or you might need just a few extra months to complete your practicum. But I really am very proud of the graduates that we've graduated from the program and the work that they're doing in their communities.
Fantastic. And I just put up the website as well. And people were asking where to go for that. So they can check out your website. You've also got the Facebook page.
It's heartstronginternational.com. heartstronginternational.com. It says adoption roots and wings. I used to work primarily with adoption,
right.
Parents with kids from, who were adopted. But now we work with all families because there's so many kids struggling with trauma behaviors because of trauma.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this is great work and really important work. Chantel did mention here, one of the things that we were doing in our book studies, as you know, is we were recording them, of course, with the participants' permission, and then making them available to the people that had signed up. So even those that weren't able to attend a particular session, or if they weren't able to attend any of the sessions, the time zones didn't work or whatever else, if they had signed up for it, they could actually go back and watch the recordings. Except for the one time I forgot to hit record, but we did all right overall. So anyway, this is really exciting.
Bringing everything else.
Yeah. No, this is really exciting. I'm really happy to be doing this with you. And again, I encourage people to sign up. I've noticed that I've gotten a couple emails already from people signing up for our study. Hopefully you're getting some emails with people downloading the books and the list.
Things, yep.
Perfect.
Already.
And we will provide updates on our social media and keep people informed. But we're looking forward to kind of this summer of reading, and not only the reading, but kind of putting it into action and getting people to do things and sending you. I'd be a little afraid to send you my report to be graded, but
no, I'm not one of those teachers. I'm a trauma-informed teacher. I'm not going to traumatize you. I promise.
Okay. Well, I had some probably trauma related to writing. So
that's what I tell when in the certification program, we're having our 10th cohort celebration, by the way. By the way, this is our 10th cohort celebration. We're offering a 50% tuition scholarship if anybody needs that. So reach out to me now if it's something that you really want to do. This is the best time to jump in. But I always tell my folks as soon as we start the program, like, okay, here's the schedule. And I give them lots of different options for how they can get support. And we have breaks and we have all this different kind of support. It's rigorous. There's a lot of work, but I try to pace it so that it's not traumatizing. I always tell them, I don't want to traumatize you in a program that's about trauma-informed education. So it's not like that.
I appreciate that.
My feedback is only going to be mostly supportive, and then like, oops, you forgot to do this, and that kind of thing. But I'm not going to be one of those teachers.
Sounds great. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to not only, kind of going through and doing the book studies, reading the books, but seeing what kind of ideas people come up with in the end. So, and you and I have talked about maybe even doing some little prizes, maybe some, I said, I'll be ready to donate some shirts, or we'll figure out something. So there might be other good things to come out of this.
We'll have some Barnes & Noble gift cards for books, that kind of thing. So
okay, sounds good.
And if you take this list of 111 books and you can't afford to buy them, go to your library. Like, libraries love to know what you want. So go to the library and say, hey, order these books for the library. That's something you can do for your community as well.
Absolutely. Well, I love the way you put that. Do it for your community as well, because we need more of these books in our library. So
Yeah,
even if you are going to buy your own copy, it doesn't hurt to go to the library and see if you can get some of
exactly.
these added on. Listen, Sandy, it's a Friday afternoon, and this was really exciting. I'm gonna let you go and let our audience go here. But thank you for making some time, and
Thank
we look
you.
forward to moving this forward.
All right. Take care,
All right.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.